How can a state-of-the-art airplane equipped with the latest technology and safety features carrying 239 people vanish into thin air without a trace? This is the question that has haunted the world since March 8, 2014, when Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 disappeared. The flight, which was supposed to be a routine journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, turned into one of the greatest aviation mysteries of all time. The Boeing 777 en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing simply vanished from radar screens, leaving behind a trail of bewilderment and grief. The aircraft, which was considered one of the safest and most reliable, disappeared without any distress signal or warning. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. Pilots, air traffic controllers, and aviation experts were left scratching their heads, unable to comprehend how such a large aircraft could simply vanish. Despite extensive search efforts and countless theories, the fate of the aircraft and its passengers remains unknown. Search operations spanned across vast areas of the Indian Ocean, involving multiple countries and advanced technology, yet no conclusive evidence has been found. The incident has sparked global intrigue, fueled conspiracy theories, and left a deep scar on the families of those lost. From mechanical failure to hijacking, and even more outlandish theories, the world has speculated endlessly, but the truth remains elusive. The lack of a definitive answer only amplifies the tragedy. The ocean, vast and unforgiving, holds its secrets tightly, and the unanswered questions continue to haunt those left behind. Families of the passengers and crew have endured years of agonizing uncertainty, clinging to hope while grappling with the unbearable reality that their loved ones may never be found. The emotional toll is immeasurable, as they continue to seek closure and answers to this day. MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. local time. The Boeing 777 was bound for Beijing, carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members. It was a routine red-eye flight, expected to arrive in the Chinese capital by 6:30 a.m. The flight was routine at first, with the crew making standard contact with air traffic control. The pilots were experienced, and the weather conditions were favorable, making it a seemingly uneventful journey. At 1:19 a.m., as the plane neared Vietnamese airspace, the final words were heard from the cockpit. "Good night, Malaysian 370. This was a customary sign-off as the plane prepared to switch from Malaysian to Vietnamese air traffic control. Shortly after this transmission, the transponder which broadcasts the plane's location was switched off. This sudden loss of signal was highly unusual and raised immediate concerns. MH370 disappeared from civilian radar screens, but military radar continued to track it as it veered sharply off course, heading west across the Malay Peninsula. This unexpected deviation suggested that the plane was no longer following its intended flight path. The plane flew for hours, its path taking it over the Indian Ocean. Despite the extensive search efforts, no distress signals or communications were received from the aircraft. The last satellite communication was received at 8:11 a.m., indicating the plane was somewhere over a vast and remote stretch of ocean. Then, silence. The lack of further communication deepened the mystery surrounding the flight's fate. MH370 had vanished without a trace. The disappearance sparked one of the largest and most complex search operations in aviation history, involving multiple countries and spanning vast areas of ocean. Yet the plane's final resting place remains unknown, leaving families and investigators with unanswered questions. The lack of concrete evidence has led to a plethora of theories about what happened to MH370. The mystery surrounding the flight has captivated the world, leading to extensive speculation and numerous investigations. One of the most prominent theories is that the plane's disappearance was a deliberate act by one or both of the pilots. This theory suggests that the pilots may have intentionally diverted the plane from its course for reasons unknown, possibly due to personal issues or political motives. This theory is fueled by the deliberate shutdown of communication systems and the plane's unusual flight path. The sudden change in direction and the disabling of the transponder have led many to believe that these actions were premeditated. Another theory suggests a catastrophic mechanical failure, such as a sudden decompression or an electrical fire, could have incapacitated the crew and rendered the plane uncontrollable. In such a scenario, the plane might have continued flying on autopilot until it eventually ran out of fuel and crashed. This theory aligns with the lack of distress calls and the plane's continued flight after deviating from its course. The absence of any emergency communication could indicate that the crew was unable to respond due to the rapid onset of a critical situation. A hijacking, perhaps by terrorists or other unknown actors, is also a possibility. This theory posits that the plane was taken over by individuals with malicious intent, potentially aiming to use it as a weapon or to make a political statement. However, no group has ever claimed responsibility, and the plane's erratic flight path doesn't fit the typical profile of a hijacking. The lack of any demands or communication from potential hijackers further complicates this theory, leaving many questions unanswered. The disappearance of MH370 sparked one of the largest and most expensive searches in aviation history. Led by Australia, the search effort involved over 26 countries and covered millions of square kilometers of the Indian Ocean. Sophisticated sonar equipment, underwater drones and search vessels scoured the seabed, hoping to locate the wreckage. Despite the massive effort, the initial search yielded no trace of the missing plane. The lack of a debris field puzzled investigators and fueled speculation that the plane had not crashed in the area being searched. After years of searching, the official search effort was suspended in 2017. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau concluded that it was almost inconceivable for a modern aircraft to be lost without a trace, but the mystery of MH370 remained unsolved. While the initial search for MH370 proved fruitless, pieces of debris began washing ashore on islands in the Indian Ocean. The first piece, a flaperon, was found on Reunion Island in July 2015. Subsequent discoveries included wing parts, interior panels, and personal belongings. Analysis of the debris confirmed that it belonged to MH370, providing a tangible link to the missing plane and confirming its fate. It had indeed crashed in the Indian Ocean. However, the location of the main wreckage remained unknown, and the debris provided few clues about the cause of the crash. The discovery of debris renewed hope that the mystery of MH370 could be solved. However, the vastness of the search area and the challenging ocean conditions continued to hamper efforts to locate the wreckage. For the families of the 227 passengers and 12 crew members aboard MH370, the disappearance has been a nightmare without end. They have endured years of agonizing uncertainty, clinging to hope while grappling with the unbearable reality that their loved ones may never be found. The lack of closure has compounded their grief and made it impossible to truly move on. Many families have criticized the handling of the investigation and the search efforts, expressing frustration with the lack of answers and the slow pace of progress. The families of MH370 have shown incredible resilience in the face of unimaginable loss. They have come together to support each other, to demand answers, and to keep the memory of their loved ones alive. 10 years after its disappearance, MH370 remains one of the most baffling mysteries of the 21st century. Despite extensive investigations and analysis of the limited data available, key questions remain unanswered. What caused MH370 to deviate so dramatically from its planned flight path? Was it a deliberate act, a mechanical failure, or a combination of factors? Why was there no distress call? And where exactly did the plane end its journey? These questions continue to haunt investigators, aviation experts, and the families of those lost. The search for answers goes on, driven by a desire to understand what happened to MH370 and to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. The disappearance of MH370 is a stark reminder of the vastness and power of the natural world and the limits of human knowledge. It is a story of loss, mystery, and the enduring power of hope. While the passage of time may dim the spotlight on MH370, the mystery of its disappearance will likely endure for generations to come. The families of those lost will continue to seek answers, and the world will continue to wonder what happened on that fateful night. The legacy of MH370 serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment with loved ones. The mystery of MH370 is a Rorschach test, inviting us to project our own fears, suspicions, and theories onto the blank canvas of the unknown. What to believe happened to MH370? Was it a tragic accident, a deliberate act, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below.